I'm Dr. Donna Hedges, and I would like to welcome all of you to the ResearchGates Nursing and Healthcare 2021 virtual conference. I'm going to put this plug in early and several times throughout the next couple of days. I know many of us have been on Zoom for a very long time now and are missing interaction with face-to-face and live people in person. And so if you would mark your calendar for October 8th and 9th, the ResearchGate will be holding another in-person conference in Orlando, Florida. The exact location will be announced. We're still in the process of evaluating what would be the best venue and the nicest place for our attendees in our conference. So October 8th and 9th in Orlando, Florida, and more information will be coming out about that. So this year's theme is looking at advancements made in nursing and in healthcare since the COVID-19 pandemic began in 2020. And the reason why we chose this topic is because last year we focused in our September conference on resilience and how do you survive something like a pandemic to the great extent that we were all of our countries were experiencing it. And so what we wanted to do with this conference is to shift focus just a little bit in saying, okay, we've somewhat come through this pandemic. Obviously, we're still dealing with it. It's still evolving. But where do we go from here? And so today and tomorrow, we're going to be looking at topics that challenge us to move forward with what we've learned from the pandemic in 2020, and how do we pave a way forward that builds on those lessons learned, allows us to create organizations and improve our organizations, both healthcare and academic settings, that are more resilient, that are more supportive of all people, leaders, staff, customers, patients, students, everyone involved. And so topics for today and tomorrow are going to range from looking at teaching strategies that engage face-to-face learners. Today, we're going to start off with how do we look at building and maintaining healthy work environments, looking a little bit at organizational change. Also, we will be looking at emotional intelligence and how do we incorporate that into all things that we do, both professional and in our personal lives as well. Other topics include looking at navigating still what we're finding with the COVID-19 pandemic, and this being a marathon rather than a sprint as a process. Also looking at creating a culture of innovation. And one of the topics that we also have has to do with wellness, personal wellness, as far as happiness at work and happiness in your personal life. Looking at how do you navigate disruption, significant disruption that we've all had to live through for the past year and still now into this year. Also, what we would like to do is to come away with those things that we can build upon as we go back to our individual workplaces and to improve the environments that we work in, as well as our own satisfaction. In looking at our conference continuing education, I have a disclosure statement that I would like to read. As you may already know, our conference has been approved for 9.33 hours of continuing education credits. The nursing continuing professional development activity was approved by the Montana Nurses Association, which is an accredited approver with distinction by the American Nurses Credentialing Center Commission on Accreditation. Criteria for successful completion of this activity includes attending the conference as well as submitting the conference evaluation. And there will be a link for that evaluation at the end of the conference. With all of the speakers who will be with us both today and tomorrow, there is no conflict of interest for anyone with the ability to control the content of this professional development activity. And so with that, again, I will remind you that our conference is coming up face-to-face October 8th and 9th in Orlando, Florida.